Good evening and welcome to our Facebook Live this evening. Thank you so much for joining me. My name's Jenny McCormack and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator, and I'm based in the market town of Brackley, which is in Northamptonshire in the centre of the UK. Thank you for joining me. I do go live Monday through to Thursday. So today is our last live session for this week, where you'll see me actually crafting. So I hope everybody who is watching and joins us is well and has had a good day. It's 7 o'clock in the evening here, so I hope you've had a good day. The weather certainly has been really nice. And this evening I'm going to show you what we're going to be using at our coffee and card session, both tomorrow and next Monday. And it is our new Butterflies and Flowers Decorative Masks. So a slight change from the cards that we've been making during the week. Let me just put this little post-it note out of the way. I've been using this lovely stamp set called Flowing Flowers this week. So these are the cards that we've made so far. And this one here is probably my favourite, this little one. So, and I did a one sheet wonder. So you can flip back through the videos on this channel or on my YouTube channel, depending on where you're watching. That's a printout of the stamps themselves, and then this is more of the one sheet wonder, just adding in some text for that. Oh, hi Virginia from Oklahoma. So it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Good evening to you, Tracy. Hi Louise. Hi Katie. So I hope everybody's had a good day. Okay, so this is what we'll be using tomorrow. Just trying to tuck those cards out of the way so they don't fall down right in the middle of our session. So these are the new decorative masks. They come as a pack of 6. You get 3 all over patterns that you can use. Let me move this out of the way. I've got some scrap paper ready, that's why. So we've got this foliage, we've got these pretty flower designs, and then probably my favourite of the backgrounds is this daisy design. Sorry about the reflection. There we go. So you have 3 of those, and then you have 3 intricate designs, and they work together. So you have this image and this one that gets laid on top for the flowers. You have the same for the butterflies. You then have 3 separate flowers that you can use here and here, and then we have different types of leaves that you can have around the edge of the flowers. So really great fun to use. In the UK here they're £9.25 for the pack of 6, and they will basically last you forever, as long as you don't cut them up. They will last you forever. They're made up of quite a substantial material, but obviously fine enough so that you can stencil through, and you can use lots of different things for the stencils. So you could use embossing paste, you could spritz ink through on a spritzer, but today we're just going to be using blending brushes. So let me just show you this in action. So I've just got some scrap paper underneath here, and I have at the ready, which I've now just moved. Oh, here they are. Sorry. Some pieces of cut down A6 card. If you prefer, you could put a little bit of tape or something on the back of this, just to hold it in place. I find it quite easy just to hold it down with my fingers, but if you have any dexterity issues, you might prefer just put a little bit of tape on the back and then attach it to your scrap paper behind. And we want that so that we can attach this. Oh, good morning, Kerry. I hope you're well. So it doesn't matter which side of the stencil you use, the mask. And this one I'm just going to put right the way over. It covers the whole thing. And just so my hand's not in your way too much, I am just going to use a little bit of washi tape to hold it down. And the lovely thing about this is you can really use any colour combination that you've got. Excellent. And thank you for your lovely comment on my YouTube channel, Kerry. Appreciate that. Thank you. So this washi tape is outside of my card. You can't really see that, I don't think, from there. So let's just have a go with this one. I've got some yellows to hand. I'm not quite sure which ones I will end up using, but I'm going to start with So Saffron and my yellow blending brush. Now I'm just going to brush this off because I know this has got a fair amount of yellow on it. So Kerry and Virginia, I don't know whether you've had a go with stencils, or Katie. I know that Tracy has, because she came to our Let's Get Creative and I use these in an element of our design projects. So all we're going to do is a circular motion, and you can obviously add more ink as you go along. And you can make this as dark or as light as you want. I'm going to do this fairly quickly. I may not actually use this one for the card. I just want to show you one of the backgrounds. And I have to say that this is my favourite background. You could literally just ink this up, add a sentiment, and that would be your card done, as you'll see in a minute. Okay, to clear these off afterwards, you can just pop them in a sink with a little bit of washing up liquid if you wanted to, if they're very inky, or just wipe them down with a cloth if they're not too inky. Alright, so Kerry hasn't got them yet. Okay. Really are nice. Okay, let me just do that quickly. So I'm using blending brushes. You could also use sponge daubers or a sponge if you have them. Okay, so I'm just going to lift these ones up so you can see. That one up there. I'll just lift that up towards you. Hopefully you can see that all over pattern. It's very light at the minute. I'm going to add a darker shade in a second. Let me just put that straight. Okay, and it's really easy to line back up again. I do need to take my glasses off because all I do is look for the centre of the holes of the flowers. Okay, just pop this tape back on, and that one down there. So I'm just going to add some extra colour around the edges. And in fact I use this on one of the projects where we used it to decorate a box, and that was really pretty. So for this one I'm actually just going to go around the edges. So that I've got a darker edge. And there's so many different ways you could use these. This would be fabulous with an ombre effect. So if you started with a dark blue and went through to light, which you could do with just one ink pad, to be honest, just ink it up more to start with, and then less and less as you go on. Okay, so this is Mango Melody. There we go. Okay, so I'm leaving the centre slightly lighter, like that. Now if I lift these away, you'll see that effect there. If I just lift that up for you, see how that is. Now have a look at, I got to look at the screen with my glasses. There we go. So it's really, really pretty effect. And then if you want to, you can also do the whole thing. And you can get some quite nice 3D effects by brushing in, for example, on one side only. I've lost my tape. Is that bit there? Yes, my favourite colours, Kerry. As you might know by now. Okay. Just going to do that over in the middle. So obviously the darker you go, the deeper that stencil will be. But you can vary it entirely. Ah, excellent, Kerry. Good choice. Okay, let me lift that up. So there we go. There's our daisy design right the way across. So you get 3 of those. You get this one as well. And then you get this sort of leaf foliage effect. I would say if you're using this one, you need to be just a little bit more careful, because these pieces are quite easily moved. So if you're doing a smaller area, I would definitely add more masking tape and keep it as flat as you can. Okay, you can hold it, but just be careful, because can you see if I rub that with my finger, that will move. So you would need to really sort of run it down like that, would be my recommendation with your blending brush. Okay, so let's move on to the clever parts of these stencils. So let's start with the flower. Oh, thank you, Virginia. So again, I'm going to pop this down here. It's got a mark on it before I've even started. That's good, isn't it? And what I think I'm going to do is, I may do 2 lots of flowers, but in terms of time, perhaps I will do 1 and a sentiment. So you have 2 flowers. The one that has more area is the one that you want in the lighter colour. And then the one that has more mask, if you like, and less air or area is your darker colour. Okay, so I'm going to put this one at an angle, I think, like this. And I am going to attach it again. So let's pop this piece of card down with a little bit of tape. So I'm just using seal, just tacking off a little bit, like so, just so I haven't got to hold the whole thing. Okay, and then I'm going to do this one first. Now it doesn't really matter, I don't think, which way round you do them. Okay, your preference, whether you want to do the dark one first. Obviously if you do the lighter one, it's got a bigger area. So what I'm going to do is attach this here, and again I'm just going to use some washi tape, but if you've got masking tape, even sellotape if it's going onto the paper is fine. And what you want to be just careful of is that you don't brush right over there and onto this element here. So what I'm going to do is, you can either use just a bit of scrap paper, but in fact what I'm going to do is use a post-it note, because I know it'll stick and that won't move around. And then if I do go off the edge, it'll go onto here and not onto the base of my card. And if you were a bit heavy-handed, you could do the same with this bit here. Actually, you can just do it on top, couldn't you? Like so. So that you know you're not going to go over these apron areas. Just depends on how confident you are with your brush. So for this one, I'm going to use purples. So I have got Gorgeous Grape and Highland Heather. So I'm going to use Highland Heather for my area first. It makes a change not to be doing full stamping. So this is Highland Heather, and this is actually very light. Let me just see if I've got another one. And whether it's got more ink. Okay. Marginally better. Okay. So I've got the blending brush, and I'm going over, again, circular motion. Okay, and it's keeping that nice and tight, but you can put your hand on it as well, just for a little extra support. Okay, so let's build this up a little bit more. And you could play with combinations of colours, of course. I'm just using 2 tones of colours for these. Okay, let's just get this edge a little bit darker. There we go. Okay, so that was Highland Heather. I'm hoping I've got more ink in my Gorgeous Grape, so let me lift this off. Which I can leave that on there, can't I? Just peel that off. So there's just our first layer. How pretty is that? Let me bring that up for you. Like so. And now I'm just going to turn this round. And all I'm going to do is center the 3 holes in the middle. Just going to wipe this down. Just so I don't transfer too much ink onto me. Because using blending brush, it's not leaving a lot of ink behind, not unless you really ink it up with a really dark colour. Okay, so that's where we started there. Okay, so now I'm going to turn this, just going to move this up actually, not turn it round. And I'm centering the dot of each of those flowers. And you'll see that it sort of, the pattern disappears. Okay, now I've got a little bit of movement there, so I'm just going to move that and that. Okay, that will be close enough. So I can use the tape onto there. I can use post-it notes just across there, so that I'm not transferring ink where it shouldn't be. And I can put one here. There, right. And I'm pretty sure I'm not going to cover this area. Famous last words, girls. So I'm going to switch to Gorgeous Grape. So do say hi if you're joining us live and you haven't said hi yet. It's lovely to see you. I appreciate you joining me. This is Gorgeous Grape with. Yeah, just about. Okay. So now I'm using the stencil that's got more stencil and therefore less detail. Okay, and again, I know that my inks desperately need more ink in them, so I can ink it up a great deal. If you've got a brand new ink pad, then you won't need to add as much. You know, probably 1 or 2 brushes will do the job. Okay, make sure we've got that one in there. Let's give that a go. Not sure it'll be dark enough. Hi Sandy. Bless you. A sneaky watch is fine. I won't tell a soul. I hope you're well. Okay, let's have a look and see what that looks like. Okay, let's just put these off out of the way. There we go. And now if I bring that, take that off of there, can you see the 3D effect that we now have? I'm really good, thank you. Hi Vanessa, thanks for joining us for you this morning and for us this evening. So we're just having a play with the decorative masks. Excuse me. Just going to wipe this off again. And I'm just using a muslin cloth. They just are so pretty, aren't they? So pretty. So now if I switch to this one here, we have a whole series of leaves. Now I've worked out that there is a position that you can use all of these. Whether I can find it again is another matter. It's not that one. Yes, I'm not going to sit and find it because it was obviously a fluke when I found it the first time. So you can use these individual leaves, okay, and they've got a nice curve, so you can literally choose where you want to put these leaves in. Okay, so I'm going to pop these in here. And you could use a dauber for such a small area. I'm just going to grab my bits of washi tape and reuse these. So I'm going to pop this one in here. So I'm going to put washi tape like so and so. And then I'm just going to make sure to cover up that section, and I'm also going to cover this up, and it means I don't have to worry quite so much about the area that I'm covering. So I've got my green, I've got Granny Apple green to hand, so I'm just going to add some of these leaves. And again, I recommend you pop some onto your scrap paper just to check, like so. Like that. And then let me lift that up so you can see it. There we go. It really brings it to life when you add the leaves. So let's add some more around here. Like so. And then it doesn't have to be pretty using this. And in fact, I do think this is better than using lots of washi tape or anything, because it sticks, but you can just sort of move it around, and I'm pretty sure I can avoid that piece. Shall we just, you know, play safe now? Okay, so I'm going to add this, and you can get quite a change in colour of your leaves by just not re-inking it. So you want some different colour leaves, just let it go lighter and lighter and lighter, or you can change the green that you're using. Yes, I didn't use the previous set of masks much, I have to say, but these do so much work for you that, you know, it's just so pretty. And in fact, one of the projects that we did at our Let's Get Creative event last week, I stenciled this straight onto a box, one of our flat boxes. I haven't got the samples here, they're still in my car, but I will pop those up and show you. And so if you wanted to, you could use a different set of leaves behind these. Let's just do that for the sake. So I do like the way that the leaves curve, so it makes it much easier to fit the flowers. Okay, so just be careful that you're not transferring too much ink anywhere. Okay, I'm happy with that. I am going to cover this up just because. And then this time I'm going to use the green, but I'm not going to re-ink it. Hi Carol. I'm just watching this one here. Okay. So just re-inking like so. Sorry. Just blending like so. And with that one I've just not added any more ink. So can you see you get a different effect if I lift that up? Off here. There's our design. Just really pretty, and you could carry on. So I feel it needs another leaf there, so I'm just going to do that, and then I'm going to show you the butterfly. Right, here we go. So I might as well just use that one there again. So I'm just looking at the edge of that onto there. Put post-it notes on anything that I think is going to get in the way, like that. Hi Jean, I thought about you only the other day. I hope you're feeling better. I know you posted that you were poorly and that your cat was keeping you company, so I hope you are feeling better. Haven't seen you around for ages. Normally I bump into Jean somewhere in Brackley. Okay, so I've just added that little bit there. So there we go. Just so pretty. Love that. Hope you can see that okay. So the 3D effect. And you could obviously do this in smaller segments in different colours. So you could cover these up and do, you know, this one orange, this one in pink. Obviously where they're very close you'd have to be a little bit more careful. You could cut a mask around it, I guess, to do that. So that's the flowers. Now I'm just wondering whether now if I've thought of it beforehand, before I put my leaves in, I could have turned this round on this flower here so that that flower was in the same place. Does that make sense? And then added, I could have turned it over as well. Yeah, so there's lots of different ways that you could do that. Okay, so I'm going to leave that for a minute. I'm going to come back and finish that off as a card, because I might add a little bit of that mask around the edge. This is the one I started with, ladies, which is the daisy one. which is that one there. And now I'm going to do the butterfly. It is soft looking. So do the same thing, and for the butterfly I might do, it's at an angle in portrait, so let's just add a little bit of tape on the back. So this is what we're doing at Coffee and Card. So you'll get a chance to do this tomorrow, Carol, if you're with us, and Jean, you'll be welcome to join us if you wish. We're at the Red Lion now in Brackley. I've forgotten there's quite a few red lions around, aren't there? Okay, so now we're going to do the same with the butterfly, and I think I'm going to do some oranges for the butterfly, as I've done my flower here in the purples. So let's grab some of those post-it notes. And obviously you can use ink, you can spritz it as well, you can use embossing paste. I'm not a big fan of getting really messy. I do get quite inky, but which is why I'm sticking to blending brushes. Okay, so let's pop this butterfly here like that. Grab my washi tape, pop this onto here so it's attached to the card. So I'm going to start with the larger area again, and so remember the larger area needs to be the lighter colour, and then the smaller area where you've got more of the mask, you want that to be your darker colour. And I wonder if that's going to, oh, it is. Just going to pop that in there like that, so I can do my antenna without getting this flower in the way. And these are perfectly sized for cards, but they would also make really good scrapbook pages, I think. I really do. Okay, and this one is obviously going to be close, so I'm just going to do that. So that gives me a clear area. And let's take out the green. Yes, I don't mind getting inky, but I don't like getting, yeah, wet messy. Some people do, don't they? It's just as well we're all different. That's all I can say. So this is So Saffron. And I might add an extra bit of colour as well. So just going to get rid of some of this Mango Melody. So inking this one up. And if you saw my live yesterday, I used the blending brushes to ink up the stamp as well. So this is how I created this one, was using the blending brush straight onto the stamp. So it's another useful one as well as stenciling. Okay, so I'm going to start with this one. I'm just brushing it up this way so that I keep away from this stencil underneath, which is very close. Not quite sure why they didn't make the stencils bigger. I don't mean the size, but the physical stencil bigger, so there was more space between them. Or had it, you know, had two more stencils so they spaced everything round, so there was just like the butterfly and not the flower. I don't know, that's probably a very good reason. So this is So Saffron going on. Just watching this edge here. But I definitely think the post-it notes are a good move. I have seen quite a few people use, oops a daisy, that's a bit close, you know, just washi tape or magic tape. But I think this is, for me, a slightly safer way. You just cover a bigger area, that's all. Okay, now what I'm thinking is, I've got Mango Melody, but might just add a little bit of, have I got any red? Got a little bit of pink, quite a bit of pink, still on my pink brush. So I'm thinking what I'm going to do is just, yes, I've got a bit close to that area. Did exactly what I shouldn't have done. Never mind. So just bringing this in along the edge. And then the antenna and the body. So I definitely know I've caught that edge there. Okay, let's have a little reveal. And also you can use the stencils on their own. You don't have to double them up. Okay, there we go. That's really pretty. If you can see that, like so. But you can also see a little bit there. Never mind. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is take the other part of the stencil and line this up. So we have a body and we have the wings to line up. We don't have the antenna. Yes, it's a bit close to the edge. I could fussy cut the whole thing out, of course. Okay. I need to take my glasses off. Sorry. Okay, so that was So Saffron. A little hint of that would have been Melon Mambo. And then I'm just going to position this. Now I can see through the stencil to position the detail. Okay, let's put that on. Let's bring this down here. And then cover this one up. That one up. And I'd better play safe and cover this one up. It's no good me saying if you see me close to it, because I'll have done it by then. Okay, so I've got Mango Melody. Well, the problem with cutting a stencil apart is that you then get really close between each one. It's not so much this one actually. Actually, you could cut this, but then you got nothing under here to attach it to. Does that make any sense? I mean, yes, you definitely could. In fact, you could certainly with that one. It makes it more tricky with the smaller ones if you cut it down, because you've got nothing to hold on to. Does that make any sense, Vanessa? But it's a good point. Hi Sarah, how are you doing? Haven't seen you for ages. I hope you're keeping well. So I'm just doing a little bit of tape down here. So I've taken off the top, the bit at the bottom, and I think I'll be good with that. So this is Mango Melody. And also you can really work with your colours. Okay, so this is going to be the detail that gets added in. And again, you can apply more pressure, less pressure. You could do a different colour top and bottom. So I'm going to do a little bit more pressure on the top, like so, and a bit less pressure on the bottom. Like so. So the base colour was So Saffron. I added a little hint of pink, Melon Mambo, and then this is Mango Melody. Just adding a bit more detail for its body. Okay, let's have a look and see how that's come out. So the post-it notes there are just to protect the gaps in the stencil. There we go. So that's our finished effect. Let me see what you can see. There we go. So even that, although I was applying a fair bit of pressure, that is still quite subtle. So you could definitely go back in and add a deeper colour if you wanted to, like Occasion Craze or something. So I might just do that, just in the middle. Thank you for the hearts. So I'm just going to pop this back on, like so, like that. And like that. I'm just going to do a middle section of Cajun Craze, I think. So you can really have fun with these. Oh no, I'm going to do cinnamon cider. Thank you. Thanks, Tracy. So I've got a blending brush for browns that I'm going to use for this. Just have a look and see. Could even go darker, but just going to go across that middle bit. Hopefully that will add the detail. Okay, let's give that a go, see what it looks like. So I've used basic white card underneath. Excuse me, goodness. Let's lift this up. There we go. So we've got even more detail. So you can keep on going, really, as much detail as you want. Okay, put my glasses on. I'll lift that up to the screen. You can see that a little bit better. Now that's actually huge. That's the standard card base size that I would use. Now what I'm going to do is get rid of this little mark here by just adding I wonder if I might. I'm either going to add a flower or put some of these daisies around the edge. Hi Dee, what do we think? Or even just some leaves coming in like so. What do we think? Can't quite decide. And I'm trying to work out which way I'm going to put this on my card. I think I'm going to put it like that, with the sentiment here, bottom right hand side. Let's see. So I'm going to be brave, use the daisies, I'm going to cover up that corner of the butterfly, and then I'm just going to do it really lightly around the edge. Actually, if I bring that right the way down, in the pink, and I'm literally of course this may not work, folks, we'll see. What do you reckon? Oh, you'll need to see it a bit clearer, won't you? So, and in fact, I think I can afford to come in a bit more. Yeah, I think I was going to do it all the way around, actually, Kerry. So let's find where I position this. Right, glasses are off. Right, there's some dots, that's what I'm looking for. Got it. Okay, now I'm going to be brave and go almost up to the butterfly. I do need to move this down a bit. Let's see. Okay. Yes. Okay, let's find that one there. So I'm just going to bring this colour, and I've not added any ink. This was the pink that was already on my blending brush. It's amazing how much stays on there. Oh yes, I could cut a strip of the daisy paper down the side, you're right. That would also work. There we go. Certainly hidden that little mark. Let's give this a go now. I've got to keep this that way. So, and it matches top and bottom, which is a bit of a miracle. And then there we go. Problem solved. So you can, if you're careful, just freeform where you want your piece to go. Obviously you can also use a template, so you could cut out, for example, an oval shape with the die cutting machine, and then place that over and then do the stenciling behind that. So there we go. think? It seems to have worked, I'd say. Might be a little bit pink. Perhaps we should have gone yellow. Never mind. It'll do the trick. Okay, so just going to wipe this down. As I say, with the blending brushes, it really there's not a huge amount of ink on there, but if you didn't clean it off and you then went in with a very light blue, for example, you could start mixing whatever ink was left on there with the blue, which you may or may not want. Okay, so, or you can just pop them into a washing up bowl with some water and some washing up liquid. Okay, so let's make these into some cards. Let's turn that out of the way. So I've got this one here. I've got this one here. This was my little practice to show you the daisies. Just so pretty. So let's pop these onto 2 cards. Hi Claire. So this one is going to go onto there like that. Now what I might do is just add a little bit of the purple just around the edge, not with the stencil. I do need to find my purple blending brush though. Can anybody see it? This is pink. It can't be very far away, folks. Brown, yellow, green, blue, that's crazy. Okay. Well, no. This one will do. It's had a little bit of grey on it at the weekend. And let's grab Gorgeous Grape. Just having another glance, and I can't see it anywhere. Oh, very strange. Okay. Okay, so it's a little bit of Gorgeous Grape, and I'm just going to come in around the edge. No stencil or anything, just the ink. Like that. Still got a little bit of sticking power. There we are. Just a little bit. There we go. So that's my that's the orientation of my card, I think, because it just feels right the way that those flowers are going. So I'm going to add a sentiment at the bottom, and I use Gorgeous Grape if there's enough of it, and I've got my favourite at the minute, sending a card instead of a text. Which obviously you could put inside for a birthday. I'm just going to try this with the grape. Oh, the flowers in landscape. Yeah, they just so... Do you think that looks better like that? I could do it that way with the sentiment up here. What do you think? Let me know. Portrait or landscape if you have a preference. Yeah, that's way too light, isn't it? So we're going to revert. Apologies, this says Happy Christmas. No, I haven't actually, but I've seen a few people do that. So Versamark and Versamark ink through the stencil. Even that's quite light. Let me try this one. Thanks, Kerry. That's a bit better. Not a huge amount, but... So this is from the Flowing Flowers. There we go. And I feel it needs a bit of greenery there in that corner. So bear with me while I literally just put that on. Just coming out of here, I think. Like that. So just grabbing some washi tape. There and there, just hold it in place. Post-it note across there and there. So I've literally just made it a small area. Now if you had sponge daubers, you could definitely use those for a small area like that. I need to replace my sponge daubers because they've got a little bit neglected, shall we say. So a little bit of the green. Let's see if that's enough. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so that one I'm going to mount onto our gorgeous great backing. And then onto a piece of white card. Now obviously you can use the stencil on the inside of the card. I've taken up enough of your time, so I'm not going to do that this evening. There we go. And I have white card for that to go onto here. So this is thick basic white. And then I've got a dilemma as to what colour I'm going to put behind my butterfly, because I had Mango Melody. I don't think that's going to go well with the pink. There we go. So check it's the right way round. I'm just holding my fingers underneath it until I've got it in the position that I want it. There we go. So there's my first card. So it's just got a little hint of the purple in the corners with the blending brush. And then this one, this pink, I think actually is Flirty Flamingo. Which is a sort of slightly salmony colour. And I wonder if that would look better with the white underneath it. it will, because I had Mango Melody, because that was going to be the colour of my butterfly. But I don't think that that works as well as the flamingo. If I just pick that up to the screen. So I'm just going to cut a piece of that. And we're done. So thank you for sticking with me. I wasn't intending to do a full hour this evening, so I hope you didn't hear my stomach grumbling. Okay, so there's that one. So these are called Butterflies and Flowers Layering Decorative Masks. A bit of a mouthful. All 6. Oh yes, that was right. Thought I was scoring that for a minute. All 6 stencils for $9.25 here in the UK. And then the blending brushes, if you haven't got any of those, they come as a pack of 3 for $11.25 here in the UK. But I'll pop some product links in so you can see them in more detail if you need to look at them. Crystal and flower centres. Oh, the same colour as butterfly. Yes, good idea. Okay, yes, I'm happy with that. Now, am I going to put a sentiment onto there? It needs to be a small one, but I don't actually think... Oh, thanks, Kerry. Yeah, you have a good weekend too. I'll see you hopefully on Monday. I could put sending a card down here. What else have I got that's small from that set? Problem is I don't want it too small because the thank you doesn't really fit. Happy birthday or just a note. Just a note. Yeah, that would work. It needs to be fairly bold. I think the happy birthday is really pretty, but it's very, very fine. If I show you this sample here. So I think it needs something a bit bolder. So I think just a note will work perfectly on there. And hopefully I don't mess it up. Okay, so I'm going to use, don't know if this is the right one. Yes, I think it is. If in doubt, I could put it on the Stamparatus and stamp it twice, but we're just going to wing it. Which is very appropriate when it's a butterfly. Sorry, that's off the bottom. I do apologise. There we go. Just a note. And we'll just layer that up and we're done. And I'm going to add a few bits of bling as well. So let's pop this. So I'm just using flat layers, not using foam pads or anything. So, and on balance I wished I'd done it in pinks, but never mind. Okay, oops, sorry. Bone folder. And put a bit of bling in the centre of those flowers as suggested by Vanessa. So there's our butterfly one with our decorative edge to cover up the fact that I didn't mask it properly. And then let's add some of our gorgeous grape Highland Heather going to the centre of that if I can find it, or it will just be a plain. There's the opal round. More opal rounds. That's the pink. I've run out of that same colour. So let's just pop the opal rounds here in the middle. Grab my pokey tool, let's move that out of the way. And my desk that was nice and tidy when I started is no longer. So these are in different sizes, so I'll pop that one on there. That one on there. And oh, they don't have a tiny one, do they? Come on. So we'll be doing these designs, butterfly and flowers, at Coffee and Card tomorrow. There we go. And I've got 2 sets of all the masks, so there'll be plenty of opportunity to do one of each type. So there we go. So I hope you like my finished cards. Not exactly what I was starting out with, but we got there in the end. So thank you so much for joining me. If you're watching on replay, then do pop on and say hi in the comment section. If you've got any questions as to what I've used or what I did, then obviously you can watch through on replay and see if that answers your question. And if not, just pop a comment in the comment box and I monitor those and I'll get back to you. And that's it. Thank you so much for fun evening. It's great to have your company. I will be back Monday morning at, I nearly said 7 AM. Monday morning at 10 AM. And that will be the 14th of March. And we'll be doing something completely different. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a nice morning, afternoon, evening, day, depending on when you're watching. Thank you, Sandy, Tracy, Jean, pleasure. Thank you, Vanessa, Kerry, Sandy, I think I've said, Virginia, if you're still with us, Sarah, if you're still with us. I think I've covered everybody, and I'm not sure if Katie was there or not, so apologies if you were. Thank you so much, and look forward to crafting with you again really soon. Thanks for that. Bye for now.